welcome to Rolling with V. Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Renault Clio 182 Sport. This is a 2-liter version and it's a 2004 model. Arguably the Renault Clio Trophy is supposed to be the best version of this car. However, we didn't get that in this country. That was only for the European market and they were in limited numbers. But let's see if this has got any of that magic. Okay, let's go for a drive. This car's done 146,000 kilometers. Motor still pulls very strong, suspension still feels firm, and handles extremely well. It's the type of car that when you initially drive it, you think, okay, it drives nicely and that type of thing. But once it's going and you enter some corners, it really becomes a bit of a ruffian sort of car. You really want to start pushing it and enjoying it around the bends. That's where it shines the most. And at least this one's got enough power to get you through the corners with a 2-liter 16-valve motor. And because it's a high revving motor, you want to keep it in the high rev range quite a bit of the time. Revs to just over 7,000 revs. The clutch in this car, or the pedal feel, is pretty hard, but I believe it's the same on all of these models of Clios. It's a cable clutch, not hydraulic. I'm not sure if that's got to do with the actual feel of the clutch, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. You end up with a pretty strong left calf muscle, so it might look a bit odd if you're wearing shorts. The interior is not the best of interiors, it's very plasticky. These cars came out with a 5-speed manual gearbox. After a while, with a bit of aggressive driving, the synchros tend to go, so that's something to look out for. That along with the hard clutch, maybe the guys don't change properly, or they use it for racing and snap change, causes synchros to go. But there are aftermarket gearboxes which that are interchangeable with some of the other Renault models. That's something to look out for. But the gearbox replacement, or to get a gearbox second-hand for this car, is not too pricey. There you had the second gear synchro. These cars in South Africa were not that popular as a hot hatch compared to the likes of back in the day in the 80s and 90s, Golf GTIs and the Opel Superbosses. But I think it's also parts are a problem in this country for Renault, especially of this era. So there's quite a delay if you have to order parts, get them shipped in. Even the agents don't keep all the parts for this car. Some of the parts that do become a problem are things like dephaser pulleys when you have to do your cam belt change, and they get quite pricey, and there's nowhere else for you to buy it unless you import it yourself. But for instance, a dephaser pulley, excluding the cam belt labor and all of that from the agents, is around 5,000 to 6,000 rand just to buy the part. The rear brake discs, although they don't wear out that quickly, but when you do have to change them, it's an agents only part. Those discs have got bearings built into them. Once that wears down too much, you have to take that into account when looking at your overall cost of this car maintenance. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's got electric windows, electric side mirrors, aircon, power steering, central locking, sort of leather, Alcantara leather. So in that regard, it's okay. It's got the features, but from a build quality perspective, the plastics in this car are not the best of plastics. But I suppose in terms of lightweight, yeah, it all adds up, and that's what makes this a fun car. The turning circle on this car is not great. It does have power steering. Power steering works well. It's got a lovely feel on the front wheels. You can feel what's going throughout the corner for a front wheel drive, and even with this motor, it doesn't have a lot of So that actually makes it quite a pleasure to drive them. It'll give many of the new cars a good run for their money, even the hot hatches. Once there's a set of bends in front of you and you're capable of driving this thing around those corners, it really flies. So for sure it's not as lightweight as the trophy version, but that can easily be, you know, if you're looking for that from a track perspective, you can easily lighten this car by about 70 kilos by removing the rear seats and sound deadening and that type of thing for track use. Overall it handles excellently, it's got good performance, it's a nice fun car, and it can be beaten on the track provided all the maintenance work is done. It'll run reliably without any issues. There's enough aftermarket parts to get it going as well, improvement in suspension, brakes, performance, etc. So in that regard, it's definitely worth the look at if you're interested in this type of car. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Cheers guys.